What's up? We back with another One Piece chapter, chapter 1152, An Awful Day. So, been anticipating this chapter. I feel like this is where we had to get real information about Elbath and about who bet to fight who and like how high these stakes are. Because I initially started off Elbath thinking, oh, this is just too simple, just fighting the God Knights. Come to find out, Emu showed up and turned this whole chapter on its head. So, the cover. Only Child Yamato in the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 36. Delivery complete. Kawamatsu Daimo Ohakumai receives Otama's hat. And you can see like Yamato pretty much, making her own crew, like at this point. I love that a lot of the scabbers became daimos of their own territories. But Yamato, I think it's about time for Yamato to wrap up this pilgrimage. Get her ass on that ship. Get his ass on that ship. And come out to help Straw Hats out. Cause Jinbei got folded and I ain't happy. Not happy at all. I can't believe this mess, man. But notes by Oda, bread is too delicious. Yes, it is. How these toast spreads and lunch packs are so good, it's honestly becoming a problem. I feel that way about Uncrustables. Like all of them. It's terrible. How's your Uncrustables? Man, one of my friends, he dipped on one of them Uncrustables in some oil and deep fried that thing. What? 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 Them kids ain't had no more lunch for the rest of that school week. All right, all right, back to what we was at. Abnormal hockey emanates from the realm of the sun. Let's hurry. Let's hurry to the lift. Gerd, we'll leave this sack of filth in your care. Got it. Wow. Golly, who they talking about, bro? Be careful. I shall dedicate my life to this Gerd Tasso. Arjun, move it. Let's get going. So I guess they're using this lift to get up to the sun realm, or at least close as they possibly can. I was wondering what the plan was. I don't think the lift is that fast though. So, and Chopper says, "I better stay too, Luffy. Yasan's wounds are too severe. We can't move him yet." Got it. I'll leave it to you. Hey, Straw Hat Luffy, be mindful of the way you use Conqueror's hockey. Be mindful of the way you use Conqueror's hockey. Oh, snap. Those guys are by no means immortal. Ooh. Be mindful of the way you use Conqueror's hockey. Those guys are by no means immortal. Scappa saying that means something like they're not immortal at all. But he didn't have to deal with Eam, so that's the kind of Emu so that's the kind of only weird part about that. Scappa, you didn't fight Emu, you fought Gunko just strung out before she got possessed. So thanks, you can count on me. I'll save Colin and his friends no matter what. Gaban, that just made it click for me. I wasn't able to put it into words before. My own power. I'm the only one left who's faced these knights before. I know I can beat them. Free me and take me with you, Hardin. So Loki is begging to get taken with them because he fought Gunko and he actually didn't fight. He actually just got beat up by Gunko and Shamrock. He didn't actually fight him, but I believe that he can do some damage. So, and I want to see what kind of devil fruit he has. If he does have that devil fruit, I don't know. There's no confirmation yet, but it's still so much mystery revolving around the devil fruit and how he got it. So, but let me just go ahead and read that one more time. Gaban, that just made it click for me. I wasn't able to put it into words before. My own power. I'm the only one left who's faced these knights before. I know I can beat them. Free me and take me with you, Hard. You know, it'd be crazy if he was mentioning Shanks, like thinking Shanks was one of them. And Hardin replies, "You fighting for Elbath?" Hardin, like, "I'd ever take you with us." Hardin, you ain't got no choice. You ain't like that. You ain't like that, Hardin. Who you think you get to call shots here? Hardin been acting out. I don't like this by Hardin. Hardin, you not that guy. You not that boy. You know your brother been like that. Like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You a side character. Hardin, you not him. You not him. You don't get to decide this stuff. Gaban lifts his head up. There's another in your group who uses Conqueror's Hockey. Oh, snap. Sanji jumps up like, is it me? I knew it. With how things were going, Mosshead and Jinbei were about to usurp me. Sanji, no. No, Sanji. You there, swordsman. Your body seems to be growing accustomed to it. This idiot didn't know this whole time. Zoro, like, I have Conqueror's Hockey. What you didn't know, it's been oozing off of you. Luffy is screaming at Zoro, like, you didn't know, dummy? Like, it's been, you've been doing this for the longest. Oh, wow. How absurd. Hockey is a power that must be understood and tamed. He don't understand his power. That's what he really saying. Like, Zoro don't understand his power at all. Your captain is one of the four emperors. You should be meticulous if you intend to have his back. My bad. Hey yo, we all knew this. We all knew this for quite some time, especially his attack on Kaido. We knew that was Conquerors. Even Kaido had to say something about it. So it was just amazing that Zoro has not had an inkling of that's what he was doing this whole time. He had no idea he was using Conqueror's Hockey. He was just swinging off bucks. Like, he was just swinging. He ain't really know. He was just swinging. And Gaban is disgusted with him. Like, yo, you just been swinging this whole time, for real. Yeah. How absurd. Hockey is a power that must be understood and tamed. He just been letting it ooze out of him this entire time. My bad. Hey, old man, what about me? Sanji screams. Oh, damn, Sanji. Damn, Sanji. Damn, Sanji. I don't know what to tell you, brother. This hurt. This hurt. This hurt. This hurt. This really hurt. This really hurt. Because I don't like to see my man Sanji be left out like that. But don't worry, Jinbei can't upsearch you no more. Jinbei got folded. So I'm real disappointed in Jinbei. And now here come Loki saying what I just been saying. Arden, you're pathetic. You'd rather sit back and let these outsiders have our homeland. I'm right here. Use me. Cause Harden, you not like that. You cottonelle soft. You toilet paper soft. I'm that boy. They had me locked up for years. I'm that boy. I'm that guy. I'm the future king. You not him. You got turned into a toy. You got beat in the Coliseum. They had to get Shanks to beat me. Man, stop playing. Who's to say you won't side with the government? You could easily stab Elbath in the back again. Just like you did on that day. How can you expect me to trust you? He ain't on side with the government. Hold up. Side with the government. You could easily stab Elbath in the back again, just like you did on that day. How can you expect me to trust you? Hurry. We can't let the casualties pile up anymore. Luffy screams, "Hey Loki, Join my crew. Oh, sugar. Oh, sugar. Whoa. Whoa. Luffy said, join my crew. Loki, join my crew. Oh, my goodness. This man is unhinged. This man is unhinged. He don't care. He just be inviting anybody to the party. Oh, yo, you can join my crew. Just pull up, bro. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So like I was saying, Harden, you're not that guy. You're not him. You don't get no say. So the fact that your savior just told your brother to join his crew, he ain't never asked you to join his crew. Harden, stay in place, get in line, shut up, and take your ass on the lift. You not built like that, my boy. Join my crew. If he does, then you can't complain if I free him, right, Harden? Ooh, yeah, Harden, shut up. Huh? Get real, Luffy. Okay. Okay. This is Zoro and Sanji. Like this this man is unhinged. Zoro like, huh? Get real, Luffy. There's no way we'd fit him on the ship. Sanji says, yeah, think of the food supplies. He eats even more than you do. And Luffy replies, this is just ridiculous. Like, Elbaf doesn't seem to want him, but he seems okay to me. Besides, if he tries anything, I can always beat him up. Oh my goodness, they have one of the best. Like this little like this group in itself is hilarious. Outside of Harden, Loki, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are hilarious together. And Scappa, they are hilarious. All right, just wanted to get that out the way because this had me rolling. This is a great funny chapter right here. Loki says, "Don't mess with me, you runt. There's no way I'm becoming your underling." Harden asks, "You're gonna cut? You're going to? You're going off your gut, huh, Straw Hat?" And Luffy says, "I can't wait to see how he fights." Harden really got in place. I'm see this all we was asking for, Harden. You're not that guy. Just be a lackey. Just be a lackey. That's all you need to do, Harden. And maybe, just maybe, Loki might leave and they might make you king. Let's see. Harden, what are you doing? The list's ready to go. I'm coming now. Sorry. Straw Hat, Loki is a condemned criminal in Elbaf. I can't just hand him over to you. Luffy says, really? And then you see Gaban, Harden, release Loki. Ooh, what was that, Yasan? 14 years ago, Loki murdered 113 members of the castle guard. He left Elder Yarul at the brink of death. He killed his own father in cold blood. He's the worst criminal our country's ever known. I'm on record for saying I think he killed 50 of them. I don't think he killed all 113 of them. All right, let's continue. And Gaban says, I know, but on that day I felt a strange emanation of hockey coming from the Owl's castle. Shanks and I went there to investigate. Looking back, it's impossible. We didn't have it. Looking back, it's possible we didn't have the whole story. You went to the castle. What the? Wait, did you just say Shanks? So Shanks and Gabon were there after the date of the massacre. Stanson, I'm sorry. Go ahead without me. Zoro Sanji, I'll catch up in a bit. This dumb Shanks thing again. Hey, don't call Shanks dumb. He means you're dumb. He means you're the dumb one. This dumb Shanks things again. Hey, don't call Shanks dumb. He means you're the dumb one. Ah, Harding. Who else could get him talking? You may have had different mothers, but you're still brothers. You have 3 minutes to explain, Loki. Tell me what happened in the castle 14 years ago. If you truly consider yourself a warrior, Elbaf, swear on our gods that what you say is the truth. That's cruel, brother. You really want me to relive that day? I don't want to remember. It was an awful day. Now we head back to the flashback. Look up in the sky, and it looks like Loki is like jumping from something 14 years ago. Oh, oh, it's Loki. Prince Loki has returned. Elbaf, Alice Castle. Elder Yaru has just arrived too, on like one of those little floating ships, I guess. Yaru talks to Loki, say he summoned you too, Loki. He summoned you too, Loki. And Loki replies something like that. This is my family home, you know. You seem well, old man. You haven't grown sick of life yet? Quiet, you. The king is in the audience chamber. I wonder what he wants. It's hard to care about the whims of a government dog. I said that's how Elbaf existed this long. The king had to be a government dog, or they was gonna blow the place up. He sold out to the people who killed rocks. He sold out to the people who killed rocks. Ooh. If that's the direction Elbaf's heading, then I'll oppose it. Yarul says, you're being loud. I'm too old for this stuff. Politics is a young man's game. We're in this mess because you keep spouting that kind of nonsense. Oh, that's Loki getting mad at Yarul. We're in this mess because you keep spouting that kind of nonsense. Now we've got a whole generation of peace-addled brats who can't even hold a weapon. Yarul says that's just a sign of the times. It's nice to know that my grandchildren, won't see combat. They want peace. Loki responds, coward, it's your duty to whip them into shape. Then they say, oh, what's that sound? It's coming from the throne room. Thank you for coming, Elder Yarul. Loki. Young master, it's a pleasure to have you back. Of course. I'm already seeing some weird stuff going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it all, and then I'm gonna come back. Well, let me just consult with the king. He summoned me, and this is my home. Open up, idiot. God, so Loki kicks the guard at the door for both of the guards at the door for trying to hold him back because it looks like they only wanted Yarul to come. Thank you for coming, Elder Yarul. And they don't thank Loki for coming. This is before Loki is deemed a criminal. So he should be getting a more than welcome, like, oh, great to have you back. It's like they didn't know he was gonna be there. They didn't know Loki was actually gonna be here. They asked for Yarul. They didn't ask for Loki to look like. They say he was summoned, but they not acting like he was summoned. Open up, idiot. So he kicks the guards through the door. Young master, violence is. Loki kicks down the door and immediately screams, old man, I'm back. And he gets cut off. And then you go to this silhouette of like what I believe is King Yarul getting stabbed by all his royal guard members. Or at least several of them. He's being stabbed. You can see blood and it's clearly silhouetted, so you can't see how much blood it is and how many times he's been stabbed. Right in front of the throne, looks like. And you can see what Yarul is shocked. He says Harold, and Loki is shocked. And he says, what the hell are you doing? Then we go over to the realm of the sun at Gaban's house. What a staggering view. This is the best, right? It's been quite a while since we've shared a bath. How long's it been? 3, maybe 4 years? Get real. It's been 10 years since the captains died. That long, huh? That must feel like forever ago, huh? Forever ago to you, huh? Yeah, life's completely changed. Honestly, just wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy. I just wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy. Still, Albert, there are some things I'd like to know. Why couldn't Shanks be a carefree pirate? What's stopping Shanks from being a carefree pirate like Buggy? So he's jealous of Buggy because that's what Buggy doing. Oh, this is interesting. Maybe this got something to do with Shanks's lineage. Let me continue. Understandable. You were a child of destiny. Shanks was a child of destiny, says Gaban. Okay. Understandable. You were a child of destiny, but let's not dwell on the tricky topics today, Shanks. Say, remember Little Garden? The island where we met Dory and Brogy? Of course. Not enough, y'all, son? Shank Kun? I just read it. Shank Kun and Shanks get scared because whoa, you scared me. Shank. That's great. Thanks, Ripley. Uh, this spot really is the best. So this is what a human giant household is like. Have some lingonberry tart and help yourself to some drink. Shankun, got any saucy old stories about Yasan? About Gaban-san? Oh, I've got one. Anytime we made it to a port, anytime we made it to a port, there were who knows how many. Ouch! You brat. If you want to make it out of this country alive, you'll zip it. Interesting. So Gaban had the hose. that's what Shanks said. He had the hose. Um, and it's the fact that Gaban is pulling Shanks's cheek like he's 10 years old still. That's amazing. But that lingonberry tart must be good as hell because he picked up him a nice piece of that. But let me continue. Oh wow. So Gaban is asking Shanks, "Do you know Harold? He is the king of Elbaf. The people think of him like a god." Shanks says, "Yeah, I met him at Mary's Wall. We got along all right." How long was Shanks at Murray's Wall? And this is the Shanks with both his arms too, if I didn't say anything. And one of his arms looked like they got a little like government cross on it. Interesting. I'm gonna just continue on though. Do you know her? Yeah. We got along all right. We couldn't speak freely in the Holy Land. Now that we're both in this country, I really want to talk to him before it's too late. Ooh. That day, the massacre at the castle took place. Alba's most beloved king, Harold the Benevolent, lost his life. We go back to what's going on at the castle. You can see hockey emanating from the castle. Kind of like when Emu appeared in Gonko. It's kind of like the same type of kind of same vibe. I'm not able to read the kanji or anything at the top, but it's kind of giving that same vibe. And I said this before that it didn't make sense that Loki had interference. It makes sense that some people with power came and made sure that, Harold was killed because Harold didn't follow orders. So in the castle, they say, "What is this? Let us out. Who closed the gate?" You see somebody bang it, and then they get slashed across their back. Guess it's one of the royal guard members, and he's screaming help. You see a silhouette of Elder Yarul with the sword, King Harold's sword, in his head. I keep saying it. That's King Harold's sword. And it looks like somebody unlocks something and they go to this treasure chest and says, "This is the forbidden fruit, double fruit, passed down within Elbaf." But just how did this man come to be so highly regarded by his people? I want to say the silhouette that's near this treasure case, it doesn't seem to have horns. Like the person doesn't seem to have horns, and I do find that very interesting. Um, but it looks like we're going on another flashback, so to speak. A long time ago, who are 109 years before the present day. 109 years? If you ask anyone what was the scariest thing on the seas is, the answer will always be the same. The giant warrior pirates. That was how things were in that era. Mm. That's how things were in that era. In that age, even ships from the land of the giants, that's a giant ships, evoked immense fear due to Elbaf's reputation. I heard there's a beautiful princess in your castle. Let's have a peek. Ooh, ah. He was one of the reasons for said reputation. And we go to this frame, well, this panel of King Harold. He's given the title. He looks like Loki with his horn structure. He got a cape on and look like he kind of got like a scale like vest on to stop attacks. He hollers out, "My foot slips," kicks another giant in the back and destroys the castle. One of the other giants says, "Your Majesty, please stop this." Ah, Harold began his reign at 45 years of age. The, just 15 in human terms. Despite this, King Harold, remarkably enough, was pure scum. Go on, tell me who your god is. The untold story of Elbaf's renowned ruler. Looks like there's no break next week. Well, we're gonna finally learn about King Harold. And we are being introduced to King Harold with his horn still attached. Earlier on when we came to Elbaf, you see in his picture that his horns are cut off because he didn't want to be known by this. He didn't want to be known for all the warring and all the destruction he caused as a young man, and clearly as somebody with that ancient warrior blood still in him. And that's why he cut off his horns. But maybe him cutting off his horns was a sign to the government that he was rebelling, and that's why they. I don't know. I don't know. This just changes a lot. So I know I'm notoriously going down for saying Yaro had something to do with this. With King Harold's death, I still feel away. Um, I want to know why Harold was called to the Owl's castle anyway. And the other tidbit that doesn't make sense to me in this is if Harold knew that Loki did not kill King Harold, why did you let Loki get locked up for these crimes? Why? Why wouldn't y'all rule tell the actual story of what happened? I understand there's going to be ramifications with everybody finding out that, oh, the government came and infiltrated and killed King Harold, but I said it's hard. When I first was introduced to Yaru, I was like, it's gonna be hard to believe somebody with a sword in their head, and this kind of doubles down on that. He looked like he went down for the count when he got the sword through his head. So we really can't take Yaru's, you know, perspective into account, other than the fact that Loki did not come to the castle to kill King Harold. He didn't. He just got summoned. And like, I don't understand why it was some readers who just thought and believed that Since they all said Loki killed them, it had to be Loki. Clearly, Loki ain't all these people stabbing King Harold. Like, he's not them. He's not them. It doesn't make sense. But I wouldn't be surprised. This is me. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, that this is some type of Gorosei emo interaction with King Harold for not obeying. Whether it's mind control on the royal guards to stab Harold, or Harold is on a rampage and this is the only way they can stop him is by killing him. Because with this panel with with the soldiers stabbing, this panel with the royal Owl's castle guard stabbing King Harold, I want to believe, right? What if it did no damage to him? What if it did no damage? Because peep game, you see the image of them stabbing. By the time Loki and Ja Rule come into the Royal Owl's Castle audience room and see King Harold getting stabbed, you know what I mean? The next panel you see is hockey emanating out of the castle. So this is telling me maybe the same thing that just happened to Dory, Broggy, and those other giants might have happened to Harold. And what Loki is talking about in this chapter, that he's dealt with this before, kind of gives credence to maybe this is what happened to King Harold. That he became immortal at a point. Let me go back to exactly what Loki said, because I feel like what Loki said made a lot of sense. Because I'm thinking of, okay, now this might be some wild brain theory right here. What if the God Knights were there the day King Harold was murdered? And maybe that's when Loki actually fought some. Not when he was chained up, but previously when the day King Harold was murdered. Maybe he fought them on that day and wasn't able to beat them, but he knew he could, but just didn't know how. Because that amount of hockey has to come from. There's only a few people that we clearly see at the castle. You see King Harold, you see the guards, you see Loki, you see Yaru. We haven't seen Loki, emit that much hockey yet. So just with deductive reasoning, there had to be somebody else there. Somebody that could get out of there without ever having to be seen. Right now, we know Emu has the power to do that. The God Knights and the Gorosei also have those summoning circles so they can enter and exit anywhere they want to without actually being noticed if that's what they so-called wanted. Um, but I can't wait till next chapter when Loki really dives into what actually happened and the logistics of it. But I do feel like we're gonna make another pivot, back up to what's going on in the Sun Realm and what's going on with the fighting with Dory and Brogy, demonic versions of themselves, and the fight with Yarul upstairs. I want to see what goes on with that, and I feel like that's where we're gonna pivot to because we might not get this whole story just yet. Oh, actually, you know what? The real story is gonna be Elbaf's untold story of King Harold. So we'll get that first. King Harold kind of looks like I expected Rocks to look. Is that just me? And like, I love the fact that Loki was a fan of Rocks. He was a fan of Rocks to the point he didn't like his father for being a government dog and bellying up and killing Rocks. You know what I mean? He sold out to the people who killed Rocks. And because of that, he don't bang with his father. Like he didn't like King Harold, but it wasn't enough for him to go kill him. Okay, so this is the weirdest part of this whole chapter. It's when Loki and Yaru are walking up to that throne room, the audience, the throne room, whatever they want to call it, the throne room. When Yaru and Loki were walking up to the throne room, none of these guards in the hallway look triggered at all. You know what I mean? They don't look triggered about anything. I find it so odd that the the royal guard members that's in the room are stabbing King Harold while these ones that are outside clearly have no idea. Like it doesn't make sense. And why did you call Harold? Why did King Harold call, so to speak, Yarul and Loki up to the castle if he knew he was getting attacked? Like some things not adding up. Some things aren't adding up. Now, Gaban did touch on something that him and Shanks went to the castle after the massacre. They were there. Gaban is literally saying Shanks and I went there to investigate. Looking back, it's possible we didn't have the whole story. And it's easy for you to come into a situation, look at the last little bit of it, and be like, oh, well, clearly such and such must have killed him. I found the fact that Loki had a prophecy about him killing the king so early on. I found that as like a big red flag to me. Because no matter what happens to the king, y'all gonna automatically assume it was the prophecy. And I'm like, that's way too easy of a cop out. And Loki, why did Loki just go down with being this villain? He was fine with it, so to speak. He was fine with being the villain. Why? Like, why was you okay with being the villain if you know you didn't do it? These are my main key points that I'm taking away from this one chapter. What did Gaban and Shanks see after the massacre that made them say it had to be Loki? How did Yaru survive a sword attack to the head? And who was it from? Also, why didn't Yaru let everybody in Elbaf know that clearly it wasn't just Loki if that was the case, because you clearly got royal guards attacking King Harold? Why was King Harold's body silhouetted? Usually, you when you see somebody getting stabbed and you silhouette only the person's body, and then the next time you see the castle is nothing but hockey emanating from it. That makes me think that Yarul saw King Harold transform into something. Or maybe there was some type of transformation right after this moment. And like if I go back to this picture, it's kind of like a little dust at the bottom, like a little dust up, so to speak. But like I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of those little demonic summoning circles underneath of him that sucked him in right after this point. And then the next time we see him, he is strong as could be. This is so interesting. This is so interesting. Um, wow. Yeah, it's so many questions this is presented at the same time. It's confirmation that I can't just sit here and point the finger at y'all rule. I can't just point the finger at Loki. And this is what Loki was trying to tell Harden, that you're looking at the trees and you ain't looking at the whole forest. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the facts that's given to you, but you're not looking at the whole big picture. And the big picture is that a government dog was killed on this day. Do you truly think it was the people or was it the government? And it tells me just in the approach of the God Knights coming back to Albad 14 years later. I don't know if they was here 14 years ago. I'm just assuming somebody was. 14 years later, they pressed Loki, but they went to the castle first. They pressed Loki, but they went to the castle first looking for Loki. Man, I knew it had to be more of a complicated story because when everybody is blaming one character, is just the easy way out, just to blame one character, lock him up, this, that, and the third. But he's probably the strongest person in Elbaf at this point, outside of Luffy and Emu. But maybe from King Harold's backstory, we'll learn what that devil fruit is that was passed down through the giant royalty. But I'm enamored with the fact that Gaban is literally telling them to release Loki. And Gaban can tell by people's body type if they got Conqueror's hockey. I feel bad for Sanji, but he could tell by body type. And we can also add Loki on the list of people Luffy has offered to join his crew. Like Luffy will, yeah, Loki is one of the people who has been offered to join the Straw Hat Pirates. He is yet another on the long list of Luffy just inviting people onto the ship. He can't even fit. But this is so interesting, bro. And to kill 113 royal guard members, it makes sense for somebody to be possessed like Dorian Brogiel at this point right now and been sent on a mission to kill everybody in that room. And can we hold it against Loki if he had to be the person that put down King Harold? I wouldn't put it against him. I wouldn't say that he killed him. I wouldn't. I would say he actually saved Elbaf. But that book that Emu pulled out seems to be the biggest culprit I can point to at this moment as a idea of what actually happened to King Harold. King Harold has been the biggest mystery since we got on Elbaf. and I wanted to know, and I wanted to know why they blamed Loki so much. But you can't blame Loki anymore after witnessing the royal guards literally stabbing his body. Now it's supposed to be giving blood, but at the same time, I've seen some things. I've seen some things on Elbaf already. He might not. He might be able to regenerate from whatever the hell this is, depending on what he is at this point. Um, I think the biggest key detail to remember that 14 years ago was a. I don't know if this was around the time he made sure he cut off his horns, but in this silhouette, you don't see King Harold's horns. King Harold cut off his horns for a reason because he was turning over a whole new leaf. Not surprising to me if him turning over a whole new leaf prompted him to get killed by the Gorosei, God Knights, Emu, whoever you want to name. And the ramifications came down to blaming the only two people that literally survived this attack. Yarul, Loki. You're not going to say it was Yarul because he's an elder. You want to say it's Loki because not only is a prophecy about him killing the king, he's in line to be the next king. He's in line for the devil fruit. He's a hothead. He's been setting fire since he's an arsonist since he was a kid. Pretty much, it kind of goes along with the power of his hammer, but at the same time, you got all these things going against Loki. It was too easy of a story. And the bigger picture that's going on here is that the government dog that has kept Elbaf alive all this time for over 109 years was killed. That's the real big picture. That's what you really need to pay attention to. They wouldn't just allow a government dog to get killed like this with the amount of power that they have on Elbaf. I also need to figure out what happened 14 years ago. And in the One Piece world itself, because that will give credence to why King Harold's death was so significant. What happened 14 years ago? What happened? Also, what was on Shank's arm? On Shank's left arm, it looked like it was a government logo, like an actual government logo on his arm. In that hot tub with Gaban, it looks like a government logo. I would not be surprised if Shanks, being this child of destiny that they are clearly saying that he is, Gaban is saying it. I would not be surprised if that left arm looked just like God Knight Summer's arm. I would not be surprised. Maybe Shanks is the only God Knight to get away. Maybe it broke his pact. Maybe it did something different. But clearly, Shanks is unable to be a carefree pirate with Buggy. That is that was his dream and he could not live it. And there's a reason he knew he was meant for bigger things based off of his lineage and maybe that tattoo. Maybe this is why Shanks had to lose that arm. Maybe losing that arm also lost him the ability to just go back to the Holy Land whenever he wanted. There's some real big things being brought up, and like Oh, even crazier. I didn't even peep this. When Loki and Yarul burst into the throne room, you see first the shock on Yarul's face and he screams out Harold. And Loki replies, "What the hell are you doing?" Don't that give the idea that it was Harold killing everybody else? It's not, oh, what are y'all doing to the king? It's Harold. What the hell are you doing? If you read it the way that's written, it's Harold. What the hell are you doing? And the next thing you see is the emission of hockey bursting out. I honestly believe Yarul has experienced this twice now, and this is his second time in current day witnessing Dorian Broggy get controlled this way. This is the second time Yarul has faced this, and that's why he wasn't ready to run, because he already dealt with this with the death of King Harold. I'm gonna go with that for now. Yarul, you still on my shit list for sure. You're never coming off, but the fact that he wasn't able to tell the whole story means there's some ramifications with the truth that he could not expose, and that him and Loki probably agreed that they would never tell him, unless in this type of situation. But yo, thank y'all for tuning in. This was an amazing chapter. I still got a lot stewing in my brain about what's been going on, but I don't want to be here too long. At the same time, I want to get this up on other platforms and I can start discussing with other creators because this is crazy. This is crazy. Oda, you have been writing a masterful arc at this point. I mean, chef's kiss. Masterful. Masterful. I love every bit of it. Some of these things I couldn't ever imagine. But where we are now as a fantasy, this is going down as probably the craziest arc backstory we ever bet to get. And I love it because there's so much to learn on Elbaf. We going back 109 years and getting a flashback now. Like, yo, you really outdoing yourself, Oda. You really outdoing yourself. Thank you for everything that you do. Yo, holla at your boy. Please like and subscribe. And till next time.